something's wrong in my opinion. I mean, he shouldn't have launched that. No matter how, I don't know, because I have no idea what your culture is like. Is that part of it? But it doesn't seem to be. Kissing on the cheek, kissing on the forehead, yeah, that's part of the culture. But when you kiss on the, the lips, that's going to be something that's different,
4, 4, 2, dudes.
Oh, that's the sign, right? Hello and welcome back to another episode of 442 Dudes. I'm Ben.
I'm John.
And together we are the dudes that bring you 442. And again, as always, if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button, slap that subscribe button, and even throw a pineapple at the subscribe button if you may. I don't know. I just decided to do that, We'll see you for our next segment we call the 90 minutes of pineapple juice. And this is the part where we call it is the 90 minutes of. And so in this one, we talk about teams and rather matches that has happened. And I think we have our own take on it. And I think, we've seen a lot of matches that happened recently. Some have, what do they say now? Shook us. Yeah, they shook us. They were quite lit. And speaking of which, there was a team that conceded, and I believe they were right at home. Not just one, but 2 goals. Very quick succession. And I think John has something to say about them.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I would think it is the Manchester United versus Nottingham Forest. What a game, I think.
Something's wrong with you. But continue, carry on.
I think it's weird because as I was sitting with my friend who happens to be supporting Man United, and I told him, I have a curse. If I watch your game, every time they are at home, if the team you're supporting is, playing at home, they're going to lose. And true enough, we're just watching it for the first 5 minutes. His team was losing quite badly. And then he turned it off. And that's when they came back. But anyway, that's not the point. But the point is the goals were quite beautiful in my opinion. But it also showed something. There was something that was lacking in the department of Man United.
What do you think is lacking then?
Well, I think it's 2 things. Now, I'm not going to talk about players first. Firstly, I think it's focus. Clearly, I think they were very complacent for the first few minutes, I believe, Just look at the way they were defending. Look at the way they weren't paying attention to the different players from Forest just coming in. And that led to the 2 goals easily conceded. That's just my opinion. Yeah.
Okay. So what you're saying is there's a lack of communication.
Yeah, just while Forest played well. But I think largely, and we know United's a big club, they're trying to develop a good squad to be competing for the top 4. This is not how it should be. It should not be.
So do you think that they will get the top 4?
I'm going to say something that I rarely would say, but I think they will. So long as they get that right formula, although they've been saying it for don't know how many seasons, but so long as they get the perfect formula this season, they can. They have the players.
Okay.
I have to give it to them. They do have the players. Although sometimes when they buy certain players, we realize that, they're not the right fit. What's that name? Van der Beek. Yeah, anyway.
Van der Beek,
Yeah, I go in Van der Beek.
All right.
Yeah, but Van der Beek, yeah.
No, I think you're absolutely right in terms of the communication issue with the United players. I mean, if we were just to break down the goals that they conceded, especially the second goal. So the second goal was actually scored by Willy Bolly, right? So if you, for copyright reasons, we are not going to show the images and all, but if you take a look at the frame by frame sequence of how the goal was conceded, so you can actually take a look at what actually happened between 3 United players, namely Casemiro, Wan-Bissaka, and Martinez.
Right.
Okay. So before the free kick was taken, Casemiro and Wan-Bissaka were marking Bolly. All right. But after the free kick was taken, for some reason, Wan-Bissaka started to mark Casemiro, and if you carry on, let it play the video play a little bit longer, you started to realize that, hey, Bolly is free. And he didn't even need to jump. All he did was turn his neck, the ball hit his head, and then the ball went inside the net. It's like...
I saw that goal.
Oh my goodness gracious. And there was absolutely zero communication. And not just this time around. This is the second week in the running. This is the second week in the running where the communication was an issue. Right? If you look at last week's game against Spurs for Sar's goal, I actually did a frame by frame, but because
Yep.
I mean, I sent it to you guys, right? So you could see there was a total lack of communication. Nobody was tracking his run, and Sa became free, thus conceding the goal. So to me, this is a very, very bad. I wouldn't say bad, but this is a key issue that I think Ten Hag needs to address.
To address immediately.
Immediately.
Very immediately. Okay.
Definitely immediately. Because let's be honest, right? If communication is a very, very big part of how a football team plays.
Yeah.
Correct? It's a team game. It's not an individual game. You need to know your roles and you need to remind one another about picking up players. If you see something, you need to inform your teammate, hey, the guy's running, mark him. Check his run. That's your position. Make sure you do your job. The kind of stuff. But none of them are doing it. And Bruno is not communicating well enough. I'm nothing against his footballing abilities. Right? But I question his leadership right now in the United camp. So he is not organizing the team properly. So with that, I think if United, if they're not going to address this issue,
it's going to be a problem.
It's going to be more problems, and I think they are going to concede a lot more goals if the other team is going to exploit this lack of communication, this running into spaces, confusing all the United players. So unless they work on the communication, I think they're going to concede a lot more goals. That being said, this is just the second goal. We're focusing on the negatives first. I'm started the bad, right? Then we talk about the good, right? Correct. The first goal that they conceded, oh my goodness gracious me! I have no idea whose fault is it.
Yeah, whose fault is it? Now, the United player in front of me was saying, and we were having Prata.
United
fan,
not the player.
Friend. Not player. Fan and friend said it was Onana's fault. The lack of communication. Yeah, that was his point of view.
I beg to differ. It was not Onana's fault.
Okay.
He did have a part to play, yes.
Yep.
But my question is, what the hell is Rashford tracking him for?
Right.
Why is Rashford the one that is tracking Awonini? Correct? I think I got it right. All right. I have no idea why our producers are laughing their asses off right now. But anyway, you get what? Taiwo. Okay, fine. Let's call it by first name. Taiwo. All right, Taiwo. Okay. Why was Rashford the one that is tracking Taiwo? So in a typical attacking corner situation, you will place at least one fullback at the back as the last man, because your centre backs are meant to be going forward and challenging the keepers and trying to score. Some of your attackers, wide attackers, will probably hovering around the edge of the penalty area, hoping to kick a long ball, or just shooting from outside the box. But Rashford was actually the last man, pretty much the last man. And we all know how speedy Rashford is, but yet he couldn't keep up with Taiwo. And he just ran the length of the pitch, and then he actually went to score. But to be very honest, Onana has a part to play.
Right.
And here I think is again a lack of communication, where he did not know whether to come out and stop Taiwo or whether to stay. I think he was caught in two minds, and as you can see, he was very static.
Yeah, he was. And
so a lot of people put the blame on Onana, but I don't fully pin the blame on him. He definitely has a part to play in the conceding the goal. But I would say, where are the defenders? Who is the one that's supposed to be on the last man? Someone is not doing his job, and Rashford has to cover for him. And Rashford is not a defender. No. You can see the way Rashford was running, a defender wouldn't run that way, right? So, yeah. So this is what I think is something that's wrong somewhere in terms of the communication. I think that is the key to Man U's disastrous start to the season. That's just my opinion. Now we move on to the good stuff, or the positives.
Yeah.
I think let's give credit where credit is due. They were brilliant in coming back. The goals that they scored. I'm not talking about the penalty. I'm just talking about the two goals that they scored. I think they were brilliantly worked goals, especially the free kick routine. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I think that was classic United. And I think they should focus more on that. Rather, I mean, of course, working on communication, right?
Yeah.
But if they carry on how they did against Forest and how they scored those goals, I think, then they may stand a chance.
And again, it's just boiling down to they have to win as a team. Yes. And they have to learn how not to be caught off guard. I think that's very important. Yeah,
I think that goes for every team, isn't it?
It does, but not every team is like United.
I mean, no one's like United.
I'm just saying,
because anybody is like United. Yeah. But okay.
Well, anyway, but my point being is that if they were playing how they were playing in the second half, then as a United fan, if I were one or was one, then
lucky you say
yeah. If
for a moment I thought you switched sides. You are wearing something very blue.
Definitely not. But if I was one, okay, then I would be glad because, well, some might say, oh, it's mentality and whatever. It's Old Trafford. That's why they can come back. But that's what you want. You don't want to worry immediately after just conceding right at home. Not one goal, but 2 goals, and not even in the first 45 minutes. In the first 10 minutes. So as a fan, I'm gonna get worried. But if I saw what I saw, and I hope they would continue in the second half, then yeah, I think that's what they should do. I think Ten Hag probably went into the dressing room fuming hot. So I'm glad the players listen. But it's not my club, so I don't really bother. But yeah, I think that was a match. But the other one we also want to talk about is also red and a bit of zebra crossing. And that one, it's the Liverpool versus Newcastle.
The red of zebra crossing.
Yeah, the red and the zebra crossing. I mean, think about it. It is like a zebra crossing. It's whether you want to let you want to let the people just cross the road or not. So, are you going to let the commuters cross? They did. I think it was utter rubbish. I mean, if you look at the stats there, I have it here.
Yeah.
Possession wise, whether it's because of the red card, Newcastle, I wouldn't say dominated, but they had majority, 57% compared to Liverpool, 43. They had more shots on attempt as well as on target, so 15 and 8, so 15 off and 8 on, whereas compared to Liverpool, it was 5 and 4. But I mean, we got to give it at the end of the day to Liverpool for seizing the chance, but it's also partially to blame for the Toons. They didn't take advantage, and that is the thing. And always in my head is having a red card does not necessarily mean 100% disadvantage or a handicap. Sometimes it works towards someone's advantage, and yeah, kind of gives people. That's my take. But I'm just. Oof.
What's your take on the red card?
I mean, if you ask me about the red card, well deserved, lah.
Well deserved.
Yeah, well deserved.
Yeah, I agree.
Well
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
I think it was
Without
definitely the red
thinking
card.
twice, yeah.
So I know there are a lot of debate online and all, but if you really look at the replays, he by letter of the law, that was a red card because number one, he was the last man. Isak was through on goal. Yeah. You're denying the attacker a goal scoring opportunity, and you got the man first before the ball. So by the letter of the law, that is a red card, right? So we have to be fair, right? So but what I want to mention about the red card is that this is actually very uncharacteristic of Van Dijk, because I'm not sure exactly what happened, what went through his mind, but in my opinion, I think it was because he was trying very hard to cover for the. Let's just put it. He was trying to cover for TAA's defensive capabilities, right?
Okay.
So or lack of.
That's what I thought.
And because the normal way that Van Dijk would defend is he will actually pressure the attacker towards the corner and away from the goal. He will not make the tackle immediately. That's what he normally does. He actually just channels them towards the corner, away from the danger, and then he'll just tackle them or force the attacker to make a mistake, resulting in a goal kick or whatever, right? So when he got the tackle, he came in really quickly, like really fast. Boom! Isak fell, and the moment Isak fell, I immediately I was like, shit.
Red card.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I think everybody knew it was coming.
I mean, VAR wise
and we know, but at the back of my head, I was hoping that okay, he got the ball first, but unfortunately, no.
Yeah.
So I think it's a valid red card. I think prior to that, there was an altercation between Gordon and TAA as well, where in the end TAA got the yellow card instead of Gordon when it should have been the other way around. And but so if Leslie if we were to say that okay, fine, he got the yellow card, right, as it is. Then the second incident where he actually tapped Gordon, but Gordon went down like he was being shot.
Yeah.
That, to be honest, that should also be a yellow card and hence a red. So I don't know whether the referee was thinking, oh shit, I made a mistake. I should have booked Gordon instead of TAA.
Yep.
So he didn't call the foul.
Yep.
So if it's really that case, then I think there's something wrong with the referees. Once again, there's inconsistencies that's happening.
Yeah, I mean,
there's incompetence that we're talking about.
If we're talking about referee, again, it all boils down to, are they setting the rules straight? Are they setting the protocol straight? Well, Howard Webb and his team will know. That's all I can say.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, there's so many things. I mean, there's another incident, two incidents rather, in the game where Joelinton was gesticulating about getting a card. So according to the new Premier League rules this season, that is worthy of a yellow card. But no, Joelinton did not get any card for those two gestures. But in the game against Chelsea and Liverpool, McAllister and Jackson, they both got carded for the same gesture, which was in accordance with the Premier League rules. So what the hell is John Brooks doing? So again, we question the referee's competence. Once again, we question the consistencies of the referee. So, I mean, come on, I think you really need to wake up your idea. And there's one thing I want to suggest is, why are we limiting the referees to Englishmen in the Premier League? You can have foreign players. Why not foreign referees?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it's governed by their own nationality. So I think that has been the way they've done. So,
Yeah, but anyway, these are just what ifs.
Although there is an Australian referee, but okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, so anyway, so that's our take on the games between United and Liverpool. So today we just really want to focus on these two teams and all. So is there anything else, Ben?
Well, I mean, to me, at the end of the day, football is football. So let us know if you disagree with us, agree with us. Let us know. Really, you must let us know.
Yeah, so that's it. It wraps up our segment of 90 Minutes Off, and we're moving on to the next one called The Sixth Sense.
And this is the part where we call Sixth Sense. And it's really all about our predictions and what we think of the upcoming matches.
Yep.
And this one, I have to straight away just go to John. just tell us what you think about
That's the for this week's Sixth Sense. I think there's only one key matchup to focus on, and that is Arsenal versus Manchester United. So here's my take. I think we just want to focus on some of the key battles that will be taking place in this game. I think the first one we look at is either Rashford or Garnacho up against either Partey or Ben White. So here's my take on this one. I think if Arsenal really wants to do well, I think Arteta should stop playing Partey at right back, and inverting him into a defensive midfielder. I mean, for goodness sake, stop copying Pep. For goodness sake, stop copying Pep. Partey is not cut out to play a right back or an inverted fullback in this position. And you realize Arsenal has not been doing it ever since he started playing that position. Correct? They did so well against Manchester City, where Partey was playing in his original position. Ben was in the original position right back. Right? Granted, they are now lacking two left backs. They in fact three. Tierney just went on loan to Real Sociedad. But that being said, Partey is not right back, so don't play that. Play a natural game. That's what I want to tell Arteta. But in any case, Rashford, Garnacho versus Partey and White, I think that's another key. It's a key battle. It's all along that flank basically. Arsenal's right flank and United's left flank. So United recently got Reguilon, right? Sergei Reguilon on loan from Spurs. I think he's going to play. So I think it's going to be a key battle between Saka and Reguilon. And if I were Arteta, I'm going to keep Saka upfield. I won't ask him to come back down.
Right.
Because I think he will definitely exploit the space that's been left behind by Reguilon. Because Reguilon has a penchant to keep bombing forward, which I think United needs. But in this case, against Arsenal at the Emirates, I think Saka will do well to just stay in the position and then exploit the space that's left behind by them. So I think that will be a key battle that's going to take place between Arsenal and United. And the other one I would feel would be Havertz and how he actually performs. So I think Arteta hasn't got fully grasped the position that Havertz is supposed to play. And I think it's quite sad because to me, when I see Havertz, right, I see him as a typical number 10. And unfortunately, in the modern game, there's no space for players like him. So I think he's going to struggle. I really think he's going to struggle because his style is totally not suited to the modern game at all. Yeah, and there's news that Højlund is coming back for United, and I think that's going to be a key difference for United. So Højlund is someone that can run the channels, he can bullet defenders, which I think is something that was very much lacking in the last few games. I mean, if you think about it, in the previous game against Forest, do you know that Anthony Martial was actually on the pitch?
Oh.
He was.
Okay, I wasn't paying attention.
On paper, but yeah, I didn't even realize he was on the pitch. Yeah, so with Højlund coming back, that might change things for United. But then again, I just feel that in this game, such a crucial game against a big team for Arsenal, I believe and I hope that Arteta will revert to his original game plan against City. And they will really exploit all the spaces that left behind by United and all the exploiting the lack of communication as we discussed earlier in 90 minutes of. So my prediction is 4-2 to United. To Arsenal. Sorry, 4-2 to Arsenal because I think Arsenal are so vulnerable. If they are going to persist with Partey, then I think they are vulnerable. Right. So that's why I think it's going to be a 4-2 game to Arsenal. Yeah.
I mean, I'm a little bit different from you. I do believe there'll be goals scored. I think it's going to be 2-2 only because United's going to struggle at the back. We know that a lot of people are missing at the back. Varane is missing at the back. I believe they're also missing Shaw in the middle. There's Mason Mount gone, and they have people that they're not comfortable with replacing them. I think Lindelof is one of them. I'm not a United fan, so I'm not sure about the performance of Dalot. So according to a friend of mine, he's not too happy about that. And Christian Eriksen is going to be a little bit of a boost, but as you said, I think Højlund, they are looking forward to it. But I think
at some point,
yeah, at some point. But I think it's going to be 2-2 because United's going to be a little bit more defensive because they have to. They really have to. They cannot repeat the mistake they did with Nottingham Forest, and they are Nottingham Forest. Nothing against them, but this is going to be Arsenal.
Yeah, but then again, United is not going to play defensive because they are not a defensive team.
No, they're not. But I think,
and that's why I think Arsenal is going to exploit them.
No, that's true. But
you know what I mean?
But I agree with you. But they can only exploit if it's not going to be Havertz. I believe he should be replaced with the guy who's been scoring the goals for them. What's his name? Eddie Nketiah.
He will be playing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
He should be instead of Havertz.
It will be Martinelli and Nketiah and Saka.
Yeah.
It will be a 4-3-3. It was
Yeah.
going to be a 4-3-3.
So if they do that, I see Arsenal edging a little bit. I still believe in United. Not that I'm a fan. But
I hope he starts with Zinchenko and then Benoit on the right, and then that's it. That's definitely Arsenal's game. But anyway, guys, so that was it. Our take on the Sixth Sense, and again, this is just our predictions are really for the entertainment and for the purpose of our podcast. We do not encourage any form of gambling. All right, so that wraps up our segment on the Sixth Sense. We will move on to
What's What
with Who's Who.
Wait, is N or with? What's What with Who's Who? What and who?
With. Alrighty, guys, we are now to the last segment of this episode, and that is titled What's What with Who's Who. So for this episode, we have to talk about this scandal, maybe? I don't know. That's what people are calling it. But let's hear from Ben, because before we started recording, right, Ben has this interesting take on this whole scandal, right, for the say. So Ben, tell us more about what you think of this whole situation.
Interesting thing, very simple for me. The guy is wrong in my opinion. I mean, he shouldn't have launched that. No matter how, I don't know, because I have no idea what your culture is like. Is that part of it? But it doesn't seem to be. Kissing on the cheek, kissing on the forehead, yeah, that's part of the culture. But when you kiss on the, the lips, that's going to be something that's different, if you ask me. Because kissing on the lips is a bit more intimate. Yeah, it's going to be more intimate, and that will lead to a lot of things. Just like our posters there, they're just prompting us for the next one. But nevertheless, this is what happened. Okay, that led to many things sprouting from it. But really, I mean, if you ask me, John, I don't see this happening even in an Asian culture for sure. Western culture, kissing on the lips, I have no idea if that's even an exchange of any hello. But from my understanding, no, it's not. It's going to be on the cheek, the forehead, maybe the hand, definitely not to the lip. Okay, now. Also something that I've read, I can't verify whether it's true because they're on certain websites, but they seem credible. Now, at first, when I read it, they were saying that, what's the name? Jenny Hermoso was saying that, it could be because of the emotions. It could be because, the emotions got hold of everyone. Therefore, that kiss came about. She was quite, she wasn't okay with it, but she's going to brush it off. Then came in with all the calls. Different people are just commenting and tweeting and putting on Facebook, social media that, he shouldn't have done that no matter what the case is. And then he started to defend himself, and then she had to release a statement by saying there was no consent at all. But the main issue I have here is, why do you have to defend yourself by saying, and according to, what's his name? Rubiales, according to our dear friend here is Zableta
Lookalike
Shopee version. Anyway, so this Rubiales, he said that he was lifted up by her, therefore the lips of his supposedly targeting other parts ended up on her lips. I mean, if you were excited, just say you're excited. You know what I mean? If you're excited, just say you're excited. You kissed her. Well, I mean, to me, don't bother defending yourself. Oh, she carried me and that sort of thing. Yeah. So my take on it is simple. I'm just going to say it. It should not have been done that way. I mean, consent or no consent, on the lips, it's a bit intimate. Unless you're husband and wife, then yeah, okay. But
yeah, and I think this whole thing, it kind of saddens me because you're talking about the biggest and greatest achievement in your
Exactly.
footballing history, but yet it's
Exactly.
been
It's
over
shrouded by this controversy.
exactly, which is quite honestly.
Yeah.
And the worst part of all, I think there are articles that come out to say that the Spanish FA, because now it's not just the Spanish FA, the government's involved as well.
Yeah.
It's suddenly become very political.
Yep.
And again, I stand by this. Politics should never ever be mixed with football. But speaking on the football thing, there are articles right now. I think the Spanish FA is trying to urge and influence UEFA to expel all the teams, the Spanish teams that are currently in the European competition. I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
I honestly don't think it's going to go through.
No.
Obviously,
You better not.
it better not, definitely.
Yeah.
But if it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I can't even think that we are even talking about this right now because it's just it's
It
bonkers.
is.
Can we just focus on the achievements of the ladies in the Spanish
Yeah.
team? Because I watched the game. It was a great game. It was honestly
It was.
a great
It
game. I actually watched the
was.
whole game. In
It
fact, I watched.
was.
I think it's the ladies' game is definitely up and coming.
It is. I
Yeah.
think the standard's already comparable to the men's standard.
I definitely not,
Yeah.
but
Wow.
it's definitely improving, and I think something that we should be watching out for.
I'm
in
saying,
the coming
ladies,
years.
you know, you're
in the coming
same
years,
standards.
in the coming
Same
years.
Same standard.
Now, staying with Spain, I just want to move the attention back to the men's professional league, where this time round,
Oh, young boy.
there is a 16-year-old boy by the
Yeah.
name of Lamine Yassal.
Set on you, Morocco. Okay, anyway.
Wow, what a player! What a player!
Exactly.
It's not just, and I think it's not just me. I think everybody agrees, including the opposition.
Sorry, what's his name again?
Lamine Yassal.
Oh, okay, Lamine Yassal.
Yes.
Not Yamal, me.
Never mind. So this 16-year-old, I think, is in history where he is I think I can't recall when was the last time. It should be Ronaldinho, where the opposition actually gave the player a standing ovation. If I believe that was Ronaldinho against Real Madrid back in the early 2000s.
Okay.
But this time round, it is for a 16-year-old player. The Villarreal fans actually gave him a standing ovation as he was subbed out. This guy is one to watch in the near future. In fact, he was just recently caught up to the Spanish squad.
Yeah, so set on you, Morocco.
Yeah, wow.
Could have been yours.
Yeah, so Lamine Yassal. Watch out for this name.
Yeah, watch out.
Yeah.
They're just telling me it's Yamal. I don't know.
What, Yamal?
Anyway, in any case, well, again, you know, you let us know because there's a very interesting sort of a rumor I have, okay?
Must be the autocorrect.
I've read, yeah, it is. That's what I've been.
Sorry.
That's what exactly. See,
I think there was an autocorrect.
I told you it was Yamal.
I see.
Anyway.
Sorry. Anyway.
Anyway, going back to it. So this last Lamine Yamal. See, I'm getting that virus from John.
Alrighty.
Now. He might be going to Real Madrid. Just a rumor floating. So rumor.
What are you
I
talking
swear
about?
there was a rumor. I swear this morning. Okay, on some website they are saying that Real Madrid is going to try for him. Again, rumor. You know, rumor. At least I'm pronouncing his name right. Anyway, so in any case, so if you think he's going to be the next big thing, he should stay in Barca. Do you think he fits in Xavi's Barcelona? Well, let us know. Or do you think he should go to Brighton?
Alright, let's not go there. Let's move on to something that was announced earlier this week. In fact, I think the last few days are where the Champions League group draw has taken place, and we have their teams. So, Ben, what's your take on the Champions League group draw?
Yeah, the group draw. Well, I mean, they said there was a group touted to be the group of death. I believe. That's Group F.
Bullshit.
I mean, to me, I think most of the groups are very clear-cut winners. I do have some people, or rather some clubs, I think they might go through, but some people might not agree with me. But really, I think it's clear cut. You got Group A all the way to Group H, and I think a lot of clear cut clubs that will be going through. Yeah, here. So you can see on the screen right now. These are the groupings. Okay, so this is just what I think. A very very quick prediction. Round of 16. Round of 16. Group A winners Bayern Munich. Runners up Manchester United. Oh, that's why I said.
Group B winners Arsenal. Runners up PSV. Group C Real Madrid. And Napoli is going to go through. Group D, Inter is going to win it. Benfica will go in second place. Group E, Atletico Madrid is going to win it, followed by Lazio. Group F, the so-called group of death, which I think is just absolutely bullshit. I think AC Milan is going to win it, followed by PSG. Group G will be Man City, obviously. What a freaking easy group for them. And then Leipzig will be joining them in the round of 16. And finally, in Group H, I think Barca is going to win it, barely. And instead of Porto, I'm going to say Shakhtar Donetsk is going to go through to the round of 16. So I think it's quite. I think it's quite clear cut. So I think this season's Champions League is going to be quite boring, in my opinion. I'd rather focus on the Europa League, not because Liverpool is there, but because Brighton is there.
Okay.
Yes, and because they recently signed Ansu Fati, so I don't know. I think Brighton is one to watch for the European leagues this season. In fact, they are in a group of death in the Europa League. I'm just going to focus on their group alone, which is together with Ajax, Marseille, and AEK Athens. So I think Brighton gonna do well in the Europa League.
That is going to be interesting to watch.
Yes.
Brighton. So that is our take. And let us know if you have your own take on the group A all the way to group H. Let us know. And if you think Man City is going to retain it, well, just share with us.
Possible.
But I don't.
Yeah, so that wraps up the episode today on the 442 Dudes. I'm John once again. This is
Ben.
And we will see you guys next week.